All right, guitar fans, let's talk about a question that's been on my mind for a little while now. Who's more talented, Eddie Van Halen or his son Wolfgang Van Halen? A legendary father, a rising son? Let's break it down. First, Eddie. The man revolutionized rock guitar with two-handed tapping, blistering speed, and that unmistakable tone. From Eruption to Jump, Eddie didn't just play the guitar, he redefined it. He was a true innovator, not just as a guitarist, but as a songwriter, producer, and even a gear designer. Eddie's rhythm playing is absolutely brilliant, especially considering he was never formally trained on guitar. He often boasted about never taking lessons, and his natural ability speaks for itself. Now, I know some people won't like this, but at times his lead playing could be a bit of a hot mess. I know that's going to anger a bunch of people out there, so go ahead and start commenting right down below this video. Many of his solos rely heavily on position number 1 of the minor pentatonic scale, something we all know and love, along with plenty of tapping. Take the solo in So This Is Love, for example. It's off a Fair Warning. It starts off bluesy with a couple of beautiful, well-crafted phrases that sound incredible. But then he launches into rapid runs that don't quite fit the feel of how he even started the solo. His rhythm playing is so exceptional that he can get away with playing some unconventional or wrong notes, because he's just that good. On the other hand, listen to the solo in Push Comes to Shove. It's absolutely incredible. Just pay attention to the rhythm part behind the lead. It's unbelievably cool and rhythmically complex. Then there's a break in the music. When his lead comes in, it's pure perfection. My first reaction was that it sounded like Steve Vai playing. It doesn't even sound like Eddie. So whether you agree with me or not that his lead playing could be a bit of a chaotic mess at times, one thing is for sure, you could never call it boring. It was like a wild roller coaster ride, barely staying on the tracks, held together only by his godlike sense of rhythm. Eddie is the GOAT. Now, Wolfgang. He's got the DNA, no doubt, but is he proving himself as a force on his own? Unlike his dad, Wolfgang plays everything: guitar, bass, drums, vocals. And he wrote and recorded every single note of his debut album for Mammoth WVH. That's next level musicianship. The first time I ever saw Wolfie, he was on tour with Van Halen when David Lee Roth was singing. I remember thinking how incredible it must be to share the stage with your dad, his uncle, and of course Dave. But since he was playing bass, I couldn't fully grasp just how talented he really was. Bass bird. Then I came across a YouTube video of him singing and playing drums, and then it hit me. He sounds fantastic behind the kit, too. If he can play bass, guitar, drums, and sing at such a high level, it's worth asking, could he actually be more talented than his father? So who's more talented? Well, it depends. Eddie changed the guitar forever. His talent was in breaking barriers. Wolfgang, though, he's a multi-instrumental powerhouse carving out his own path rather than living in his dad's shadow. Bottom line, Eddie was a game changer and Wolfgang is proving to be one too, but in his own way. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments.